What's up, guys? Frank here. I hope everybody's doing all right out there. As promised in the previous video, where I was talking a little bit about some of the things that happened at the NAMM show, I'm going to try and keep the frequency on this channel as high as possible. And we're going to start by looking at a few pedals from a company that I've mentioned in that very video, a company called Gigagain Audio. And you might have never heard of those because they're a relatively young company that is like just sort of emerging at this point. And it was their first appearance at the NAMM show, actually. And if I don't blame you if you hear the words or the word combination like pedals and made in China, because obviously these days you would associate that with, the little plastic bricks that, are manufactured by OEM companies and then shipped over to larger retailers and then or even Amazon and then sold for like 20 or 30 bucks. Gigagain Audio is not that. And in this video we're going to have sort of like a first look at the pedal line and do some like initial analysis on the craftsmanship and on like the concept when it comes to what they actually stand for. So let's go quickly through the lineup of pedals. The most simple pedal is a transparent boost called the Super Kick, and I'm going to try and focus that here, which seems to work. The Super Kick is a transparent boost with two options, either standard, so no color at all, it's just going to increase your signal and it's not going to alter your tone, or warm. So that gives you a little bit of a rounder sounding, as it says, warmer sounding tone. And the funny thing is that you have an LED strip on one side, which is going to give you an indication of, even if it's in bypass, it's going to show you what the input level is. And then obviously when you increase it, what the added level is. I find that a really clever idea, to be honest. Then we have the Golden Legacy, and I think the faceplate sort of gives away what this is. This is the Marshall in a box kind of thing, and comes with two voicings. One is a little bit more modern sounding, the other one is more vintage sounding. Then we have the Silver Legacy. The Silver Legacy is going after the Dumble tone, coming with triple S and ODS options. And I'm really looking forward to see how that does, because there have been many attempts to, do that sort of sound in the past couple of years. And so let's find out. This one probably doesn't need any sort of explanation. It's green, it says Screamer, and it has a few sort of modification options on top, which I think are very handy, and it certainly looks like a great sort of competitor to what's out there. Then we have the Blue Giant again. The Blue Giant, faceplate sort of gives away what this does. Is more going after the blues rock player. Then on the higher end of possible distortion and gain, we have the Gainster. The Gainster is sort of a like really high gain pedal, can be really aggressive, and also has two different voicings. The only non-drive pedal or non-drive related pedal in the lineup at this point is the Dualay. The Dualay is pretty interesting, has two independent delay circuits that you can run in parallel or serial, and you can also decide if you want the echo trails to be audible when you switch the pedal back to bypass. And then the final pedal in the in the lineup, and it's funny that I should say final because it's called the Final Fusion. The Final Fusion is Gigagain Audio's take on a power amp and cap sim with obviously direct out, balanced out, and a headphone jack. And then you have a couple of options for how the power amp is behaving, or the power amp simulation is behaving, and more about speaker size and all that kind of stuff. Price-wise, I'm not sure where they are going to land. I would assume somewhere within like the $100 region, something like that. And there are a couple of things to justify that when it comes to the feature set. Maybe let's look at the enclosure first. So if you take now the camera is centrist. So if you take a look at the enclosure, these enclosures were custom made or like specifically made for Gigagain Audio. I don't know if they have their own factory or if they have a factory like nearby, but the instructions were quite clear. This has to be as compact as possible, and obviously they wanted to look sort of unique. Everybody else, or most other companies out there, will use Hammond style enclosures, and there are different sort of formats and different sort of sizes. One of the most common one, at least if you want to have top mounted jacks and also have enough space inside the enclosure to pack a lot of things in there, is the 125B. And I'm just going to put that here for comparison. This is one of my own designs. This is the all you can boost. This uses the 125B enclosure, and you can clearly see that there is a difference when it comes to the overall size. So this one is definitely larger. It's a little bit wider, and the depth or height, whatever you want to call it, is pretty much the same. But then you can also see that this one has like the rounded corners, while this one is like super square. So yeah, pretty much to their specifications. The other thing that sort of gives it away that these are like specifically made for the demands of Gigagain is that here on top you can see like the border of the lid, the lid that you can also unscrew if you wanted to, is also pretty tight fit into where the jacks end up. And on the inside, and I'm not going to unscrew this here. Maybe we can talk about that at a later point. But on the inside, you'll find two PCB boards. One PCB board holds the components that are responsible for creating the sounds, and the other PCB board is connected with the input and output jack and with the DC jack. So they're separate, and then they're interconnected within the enclosure. The other thing that you'll find interesting is that these pedals have a power on-off switch. And now you might ask, why would you want that? Because you connect it, it's connected to your power supply or whatever you're using, and then this is your on-off switch. This is the sort of the bypass switch. But these pedals actually have the chance to use a battery. So there's a battery compartment here, which is, by the way, very pedalboard friendly, because with most other designs, you have to take the pedal off and either unscrew the lid or like a little sort of compartment cover. And here you just, slide this down and you can put in a new battery. Now, why would you use a battery? The thing is that obviously for like a lot of years, we have sort of like really stable, good quality power supplies that give you, clean voltage, clean power to the pedals. So why would you use batteries? Well, there are a few guys out there that like batteries because apparently they create a different tone and they create a certain amount of sag. So, I know that a few like fuzz pedal enthusiasts are like, no, I need to have batteries. Then there are others who are like, who cares? It's going to work. There are even pedalboard supplies, like power supplies out there where you can sort of like notch down the voltage a little bit to sort of create that sort of sag. And whatever the reason is, they have put in battery compartments here. And maybe one of the reasons is that they also make their own rechargeable batteries. So here's one example. If you take a look at this, let me just switch it back. So this is one of their rechargeable batteries. Has a USB-C port here and a little LED that is going to show you if it's fully charged or not. If, it's going to give you like some sort of status. Has 1200 milliampere hours of capacity, which should be enough. And again, they're rechargeable, and rechargeable batteries obviously might make sense for a small, compact, and portable pedal board. So one possible application for that could be, I usually go to a local jam session once a month, and it's very sort of organized around where, you know, you enter the stage, you have exactly 20 minutes to assemble everything, to connect everything, and then play your song. So there's really no time for sound check, nothing. You're on stage, you connect, you go. Usually it takes around 2 to 3 minutes, and then everybody's ready. And that's only possible because, you know, I take a little pedal board with me, a really compact board that has a what are these things called? A power bank. Pardon me. A power bank on the lower side, and then I have it connected with an isolator to give power to my pedals. But that, you know, this solution here would actually make for a much better and even more sort of portable setup. So there are some use cases for batteries, I would assume, and here you can actually, you know, put them here, then you can power the pedal on, and you can completely shut it down if you don't want to. What else to say? I think that's about it. I find these pedals very interesting. I'm certainly looking forward to put them to the test, all of them. Again, in the next couple of days, I'm going to upload videos where, like, each video is going to be specifically on each pedal, in front of a clean amp, and we're going to find out how they sound. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions that I might have, you know, not answered. Although I think I covered pretty much everything. As far as, maybe one last point, as far as the craftsmanship goes, I've taken a look inside the pedals, and so the PCBs are partially surface mount components and partially hole through. So there is actually quite a lot of manual labor in these. The switches are pretty solid, and the other thing that I find really, really nice are the knobs, because these knobs also have been made to the specifications of Gigagain, and they're like really, they feel like really sort of rugged, you know. They're really nice, have a really nice grip to them. Like everything in here screams like it's well made. It's well made. So yeah, looking forward to see what you guys think. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And obviously, if you'd like to see more content like that, please hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.